format and the particular point. Television, there is a composition in the television. The arrangement of visuals is important to television news, which is basically the composition of pictures. We call it a composition of pictures. Composition is the arrangement of visual elements in a frame to make them pleasing and complete. Just here I am recalling the previous class text. In the television, there is a horizontal format and rule of thirds, and what we are seeing, what we get it in the television. There is some elements here we need to know about, we need to remember here again. The shots, closed shot, mid shot, the number of frames you choose between the switching on and switching off of the camera record button constitutes a shot. Each shot recorded assumes larger meaning only in relation to the shots that come before and after it. Camera movements, we have discussed in the previous class. Camera movements. There is a particular some points, elements, pan left, pan right, tilt up, tilt down, zoom in, zoom out. These are the camera movements. And in the outdoor studio and in the studio and outdoor production, there is a OB gun, outdoor broadcasting gun, ENG, electronic news gathering, DSNG, digital satellite news gathering. All these technology we have available now, we are experiencing on live programs, live meetings. So all this cricket match, everything is now we are witnessing live programs. Writing for news bulletins, how to gather the news. Television presentation is different than the print presentation because television is a audio visual publication medium, whereas newspaper only printing medium, and radio is only audio medium. Accordingly, we need to write the news to the television. That's based on the characteristics only we have to write. And in television, seeing is believing. Written hear and see. So it is happens once in. For example, radio only we hear the news. In the print we read it, but in television we read it, we see and we hear it. So our writing style should be matched hear and see. And the viewer, we need to remember here the viewer. Television viewer may be literate, illiterate, professional or unprofessional, skilled, unskilled, whatever it is. So for this, it is the audience, the masses here, everyone comes under the television medium. That is, the television medium is become very popular. Writing style also should be based on the audience, the interest of the audience. And this is a visual dimension, easy to listen formula for television. So our writing is, we use one kind of formula that is easy to listen, because once the reader, the television news presenter would read out the content, it will not come again. Compared with the newspaper, reader, if he could not understand one sentence, he may go back and read it. But in television, it is not possible. So our words as a television reporter, which words we are using is important. It is easy to listen the audience. So the easy to listen formula must be maintained. Now we will focus. In the previous class, we are discussed about the television news gatherings, and the television news presentation. Reporting for television involves interviewing, finding out facts, taping, editing, and writing stories that are waiting to be happen. And news gathering, the link between the commentary given by the reporter and the visuals on the screen is a crucial. Generally, here we need to recollect about the piece to camera. So if any event happen, there is our reporter will be is collecting the news. He gives his voice of the information to the camera. That is called piece to camera, P2C. Television news presentation also one important because if the words is difficult, we could not understand even though it is critical to the presenter to deliver those words, those sentences. If there is a complex sentences, it is not possible to read out easily. So that is why the words should be in a simple and short sentences without complex sentences. And if we go with the short sentences, it is easy to the viewer because here is one problem, that is visuals and reading, visuals and the text hearing at a time. So an ordinary person means a television viewer, he need to do two activities at a time. So for that, we must give the words, the style of writing should be easy to understand the viewer. Some technology now we have now earlier only we are witnessed only cricket matches or any sports matches like some 20 30 years ago, but now we are experiencing, now we have 24 hours news channels, we are experiencing all many programs in the life, means a seminar or a political party's meeting, and if any crime happens, our reporters and camera persons and other OBs and crew were rushing the spot and giving the information live. If any disorders happen, any uh, any incidents happen, so we are getting the information within the minutes. All it is possible with the new technology. We have a new technology in the media. We have now social media also with the camera, with the handy phone. Also, many reporters at the ground level, at mandal level or constitution level, they are using only the handy camera, means a smartphone only for recording the voice of the speaker. They are recording the visuals. All this happens with the development of technology. Live coverage is very common in this era because we are witnessing many programs in live coverage. So this is some recall about the television programs, television news coverage, television, how to write for the television news and other programs. Here we are just focusing on the academic means only journalism and academic orientation. We are not here discussed about the how to write for a drama or a serial. That is comes under the separate discipline, academic discipline, that is for performing media studies is something different. So there is they teach you how to write a serial, how to write a drama. But here we are just focusing as a journalism students, as a journalist, to be journalist, we are focusing on the news orientation we are discussing. And there is a programs other than the feature, news features, news reels, and news documentaries. So news documentaries features are a soft, not it's a those are the soft news. So and a live event, if a live event happens, that is a hard news. If while live event we could not cover the much time because in the television the airtime is very much important. We could not cover much time on the live event. Sometimes we have to do more other news also. Then the reporter will prepare a news reel on the particular event. Later, all he collect or she collect the entire information about that particular event. So we will see in the news feature or news documentary in the news reel about the entire details about that one particular event. Now we will discuss on the cinema portion, film communication. That is in the chapter 9 and 10 of Black 4 and 11 and 12 from the Black 5. These four chapters devoted for the film communication, cinema communication. Unit number 9, history and development of cinema. Once cinema is also a good communication. Now, even though now also, but the at the some 50, 60 years ago, we have no 24 hours news channels. Even only we see, we hear radio news bulletins once, twice in a day, some 50 or 60 years ago. Some 30 to 40, 50 years ago, we have a television, Doordarshan, that is also just some 40 years of history for the television, that is in the Doordarshan news bulletins. Now, from 20, 25 years ago, after 1991 new industrial revolution, there is a foreign direct investments in the television sector. First phase, first phase, we witnessed the entertainment section only. We saw serials, dramas, and films in the television channels. 20 years ago, after 2000, 2001, 2002, we have a live 24 hours news channels. Coming to we are now focusing on the cinema communication. Coming to the focusing on the cinema, the unit number 9, history and development of cinema. In this unit, we will discuss about the origin of cinema and the first Indian feature film, phases of development of feature films, documentaries. Earlier, there is only feature films and documentaries which were telecasted in the Doordarshan. There is also cinemas to like now what we are witnessing the 2.5 hours of cinema, but in the television there is a television and also feature films, documentary films of with 1 hour, 1.5 hour. We have the growth of film organizations like Films Division, NFDC, CBFC, National Films Archives of India, These are the some units. These units works under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So present contemporary cinema, and we have now home theaters. Earlier, we used to see cinemas in the theaters only, but now we have home theaters. We are seeing cinemas in home theater means we can set up with the micro with the speakers and the monitor. Now we are seeing links on the computer monitor, even though in the mobile phones also. So all this technology. So technology, there is a day-to-day technology advantages we have. So we are witnessing all this. Now coming to the origin of the cinema, a film also called a movie, motion picture, moving picture, and a theatrical film or photo play. Generally, it's a series of still images that, when shown on a screen, we have a 24 frames, 24, 26 frames. Like within the second, there is the images, 26 images moves or rolls within the second. So that is why we are getting a moving picture, moving experience on the screen. Either it is a silver screen or mobile screen or computer monitor, whatever it is. Film is considered to be an important art form, a source of popular entertainment, and a powerful medium for educating. Because earlier movies, like some 20, 30, some 50, 60 years ago, there is a movies. Their concept is the values in the societies. Their concept is to eradicate the vegan, some practices, some not good practices. So their concept, they're focusing on to eradicate the issues like poverty issues, socio-economic issues were discussed in the films. Their plot, the theme of the films based on those points. Cinema is a visual language that tells the stories in moving images. Pictures put in a motion have a completely different effect than when they are static. Cinematic art is a merging of many disciplines and crafts to create a powerful emotional experience. Artists struggled with cinematic art long before the first camera was invented. Earlier, there is a dramas, stage dramas on the theater dramas, dramas at the corner places of the village and four junctions. We witnessed the artist was attempting to illustrate running movement. Late 19th century, the movie camera allowed picture maker to use real movement and time. The earliest pioneers of the cinematic art were a group of Russian filmmakers. These are early filmmakers believed that the new cinematic element was montage or what we call today, that is editing. Cinematic art is a powerful force in the world for narrate art and arming storytellers with ever improving tools to bring their narratives to life. Now, coming to discuss about the Indian film industry. Indian film industry, famously known as a Bollywood, the headquarters is Mumbai. This is the largest in the world, and it has a major film studios in Mumbai nowadays. And also there is a film industries in Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad, and also in Cochin. Bollywood, especially Bollywood, it's generally produces Hindi language films. Over 1,000 films produces approximately. There is the estimation from the Bollywood, 1,000 around they produces per year. Films are produced on many topics like mythology, religion, history, social problems, and some war, etc. Will cover in the films. Films are the some less expensive source of entertainment for the masses, because now we have a luxurious facilities. So we are paying much amount for the luxurious facilities, but a middleman or a poor person who is willing to see a film in the theater, we have some 20 or 50 rupees ticket charges also now available. But now there is a the system, the theater system also now has been changed, because earlier only theater means a theater only there is a film runs and the people come and see there only. But now there is a included uh, multiplex. We have like multiplex kind of theaters now. There is a shopping, we can do shoppings. There is a restaurant. We have to have food, which is all possible nowadays. Now coming to discuss on the origin of cinema. Cinema or a motion picture is the art of moving images, a visual medium that tells stories and exposes reality. It is created in the beginning of the 19th century. Cinema is the world's most recent art form. It is also by far the world's most complex, collaborative, and costly artistic expression. Maya Deren, in the he born in April 29, 1917, and his death is October 13 in 1961, was one of the most important American experimental filmmakers, and is a promoter of the avant-garde in the 1940s and 50s. Now coming to discuss on the Indian feature films. The first feature film made in India was a narrative name, that is a Kundalik by N.G. Chitra and R.G. Torne. The first full-length Indian feature film was Raja Harishchandra, made in 1913 and released commercially in May that year only by Dada Saheb Phalke. Raja Harishchandra features Dattatreya Damodar Bhadke, Anna Salunke, Balachandra Phalke, and Gajanan Vasudev, and it is based on the legend of Harishchandra, recounted in Ramayana and Mahabharata. Another key aspect of cinematic art, the movement of the camera, which controls the audience point of view. The camera can move towards are towards or away from the subject, rise up or down on it, pass by it, moving left or right or circle around it. Psychologically, each type of camera movement communicates something different to the audience. For example, as Alfred Hitchcock, he felt that moving the camera closer to the subject usually increases narrative intensity. Coming back about the Indian film, feature films, in 1916, Universal Picture set up Hollywood's first Indian agency. The first South Indian picture was Rangaswamy Natraj Mudaliar's. He is the uh, producer and the producer. That is the film name is Kīchaka Vadam, released in 1918, 1918. The following year, he made the film Vastrapadayam, Draupadi Vastrapaharam. This featured in this film the actress who is Anglo-Indian. She is Marian Hill, who played the role of Draupadi. Here we need to know the phases of the development of feature films and the documentary films. The feature film, what is feature film? Films at the time were no longer than one reel. One reel means approximately nowadays uh, nowadays we are seeing the films which 14 reels means 15 or 18 minutes of running film. So earlier there is a small feature films. So that is why like what we what we are used to see nowadays in a serial episode. That is some 20 to 25 without advertisements, 20 to 22 minutes. That is one film, one reel. Now we have a 13 reels or 14 reels film in the theaters in present day. The first feature film, the lengthy multi-reel film in the world was 1906 Australian who produced the feature film title is The Story of the Kelly Gang. That is some history here we need to know. And the life of Christ is the first initial stage of cinema when there is a focus like in mythology. Some 70 years ago, 80 years ago, we witnessed more mythological movies only and some dramatical movies. Now coming to the discussion on the documentary film, the history of Indian documentary film sector over the first 3 decades of independence, like after 1947 to 1975, 70s middle, based on the combined empirical study of rare official documents, interviews, and understudied films. This is the history, the first 3 decades. It looks into the organization, development, and governance of the Indian documentary sector and films, details how the state plan of state means here is our nation plan of national integration inform the development of the documentary and how the independent country organize and control this sector. So one there is a number of studies. Now coming to the organization of films. Here we first think about need to know about the films division. Films division was set up in April 1948 with its headquarters in Mumbai. The Films division is charged to record, propagate, and preserve the achievements of resurgent independent India on the celluloid. It has been a vital link between the people and the government, apart from its pioneering role in spreading the documentary film movements in India. The film division produces story-based short films. Earlier we have only Doordarshan, so there we used to see short films, documentaries, and they focus on the some educational and the children's film. This film division. The films division has 9 branches located around the India at Mumbai, at Kolkata, Hyderabad, Lucknow, Chennai, Madurai, Nagpur, Tirunelveli, and also in Vijayawada. It has a national film archives of India with more than 8,000 films on uh, on the various subjects like human life. These documentaries produced by the division, various subjects like agriculture, tribal welfare, and good public information films. Another major organization is the National Film Development Corporation, NFDC. National Film Development Corporation of India is the central agency established to encourage the good cinema movement in the country. The primary goal of the NFDC is to plan, promote, and organize an integrated and efficient development of the Indian film industry, and also to give some excellence in the cinema. It was established, the NFDC was established in the 1980 with the objective of promotion good cinema. It produces and finances films overseas matters concerning export of Indian films, import of foreign films and their distribution, import of relevant technology, and the production and distribution of the recorded video cassettes. The Metro and other channels on Doordarshan telecast several serials produced or financed by the National Film Development Corporation. Another major organization is CBFC, Central Board of Film Certification. This is a statutory body under Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. This board regulates the public exhibition of films under the provisions of Cinematography Act 1952. Films can be publicly exhibited in India only after they have been certified by the Central Board of Film Certification. Generally, we know certificates like U certificate, S certificates, U by A certificates, A certificate. The CBFC headquarters is Mumbai. It has 9 regional offices also, one each in the Mumbai and Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Thiruvananthapuram, Hyderabad, New Delhi, Cuttack, and also in Guwahati. Another important organization is the National Film Archives of India. The need for preserving film as an art and historical documents has been recognized all over the world. The task of preserving cinema in all its varied expressions and the forms is best entrusted to a national organization with adequate resources, a permanent setup, and the confidence of the local film industry. National Film Archives of India (NFAI) was set up in the February 1964, and it has headquarters in Pune with three regional offices, one at Bangalore, another one is Kolkata, and another one is at Tiruvananthapuram. As a media unit in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, the Government of India with the primary objective of acquiring and preserving Indian cinematic heritage. This also includes preservation of film and non-film material, including limited to celluloid, stills, glass slides, posters, lobby cards, scripts, and also song booklets. The vision of the National Film Archives of India is committed to the acquisition, preservation, restoration, and dissemination of India's social cultural heritage, widely enriched in the form of films and cinematic materials. The mission is critical for the benefit of society at large and aims to create an archival and preservation policy through the strategic direction, leadership, partnership, and collaboration between not just the National Film Archives of India, but also other government institutions like already we have discussed the film division and also National Film Development Corporation, Children Films Society of India, Films and Television Institute of India, Directorate of Film Festival, and the Film Society of India, and Film and Television Institution of India. These are the many institutions we have related to the films. So the National Film Archives of India, who coordinates with all these institutions, and they collect the serial, the copy, including the script, and they preserve in the National Film Archives of India. This is one kind of a nodal agency. Another major film unit is Directorate of Film Festivals. It was set up in 1973 under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The main objective is to promote good cinema and Indian films. The Directorate of Film Festivals organizes the national and international film festivals in India, and it holds the Indian Film Weeks abroad also. The Directorate seems to be an agency of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in July 1981, when it was transferred to the National Film Development Corporation. Some days this directorate included in the National Film Development Corporation. Later again, but in July 1981, the directorate again shifted back to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Some days these directorates included in the one other unit, that is the National Film Development Corporation. Dear students, if you have any doubts, you may raise your questions. If there's, you may type in the chat room. I will read out and explain. I will give the clarifications for your doubts. If you have no doubts, I will move to the other topic. The recent trends in the contemporary cinema. There is no doubt, whatever is, the film must be treated as a distinct form of art. The most modern of the film art, it makes with the other arts like music, dance, and drama, but it has its separate artistic individuality with its wide range of depiction and with the university of its appeal. It has tremendous possibilities. It must not be overlooked that the film industry today has become one of the major industries in this country, and consequently the box office aspect is likely to overshadow its artistic aspect. India is one of the largest producer of films in the world. Nowadays, Indian films are quite popular in Southeast Asian countries. Now, in India also, in the regional films also releasing in other states other than the particular language. So pan-India movies, we are now witnessing the pan-India movies. We are experiencing pan-India movies, and we are experiencing films in a two means a two series or three series with not only with a single episode. Like our Indian films mostly popular in the Middle East and some Southeastern countries. There are many centers of filmmaking in India. Those are the Mumbai, Bombay, the Mumbai, Kolkata, Madras, Hyderabad, and also Thiruvananthapuram. Some way in Bhojpuri films, Gujarati films, Sindhi films. There is a many places. There is a many industries. There is the many industries now evolved in India. There are many centers we have. Last some 40 years in the film industry has made a great progress. Thousands of persons are employed at various stages in the connection with the making of films, distributing them, and exhibiting them all over the country. In reality, the film making has become a highly organized and developed industry. A film is the finished product of the labors of the host of artists and technicians. It is indeed a symphony of a cooperative of efforts, actors, directors, and dance choreographers, music directors, playback singers, script writers, lyricists, camera persons, soundmen, editors, all have to work together under the leadership of a director in generally, but who also follow the producer for a common subject. Films are proposed on many topics like mythology, religion, history, social problems, etc. Contemporary trends, coming to the discussion on the contemporary trends, uh, privacy and illegal sharing are the major challenges for the films. Privacy and illegal file sharing are nagging problems for the motion picture industry. Making and selling bootlegged copies of movies on DVDs is a global phenomenon. Now we have uh, printers and some, we have the websites also. After within the 2 or 3 weeks, the very quality copy is available on the websites. And there is a rates on the DVDs, means privacy DVDs. But now, sometimes some 10 years ago, there is a DVD, piracy DVDs problem. Now, we are now witnessing the websites. The websites where within a week or within a 2 weeks, a new film is available on the website. Many websites, there is many websites. Another major issue, major challenge for the films are file sharing. Even though in the mobile phone, we can share the cinema to other person. This is also very major challenge. In the Hollywood, originally thought that they were safe from this problem because movie files are huge and have a long download times. Regard to the Indian industry, a new file sharing program. The problem because of movies files are there is a website. The speed of the process allows individual to swap big files, even though movies, films. Privacy. This is called alternatively we will call it as privacy. So, is there any solutions for this? But initially, we have no clueless because the technology. So even though big film producers also their target is only 2 weeks or 3 weeks in the theaters. Later they are selling their film to the OTT platforms. Now the another major trend is OTT platforms. After 2 or 3 weeks or some 50 days at least. So they are selling the rights, film rights to the OTT platforms. There is a Netflix, Amazon, and various other OTT platforms we have. So at least some 2, 3, if we will wait for 3 weeks, we will get it in the OTT. That is also a major challenge. But the OTT industry also is now growing up. So the trend is transforming from one kind of matter to another kind of. Earlier, used to visit the theaters to get some kind of experience to the audience to see the film, but they are interesting because of their occupation or because of their security. They are interesting to see in the OTT platforms only. Another trend is also home theater. So setup of home theater is just a cost of 2 to 3 lakhs. So they will get it the experience of to see a film in the theaters in the theater with the help of home theater. Home theater, some 1980s, the home theater entertainment, audiovisual systems that seek to produce a movie theater experience and mood using consumer electronic grade video and audio equipment that is set up in the room or a backyard of a private homes. In the in America, in the 1980s, home cinemas typically consisted of a movie pre-recorded on a laser disc or VHS tape, a laser disc or VHS players, and a heavily bulky large screen cathode ray tube television set. In the 2000s, technological innovations in the sound systems, video player equipment and 3D screens and video projectors have changed the equipment used in home theater setups and enabled home users to experience a high resolution screen image, improved the sound quality and components of other users more options. Some 10 years ago, from the 2018, 2020, after that we are witnessing streaming also. See, earlier for cinema, if cinema needs to play in the theater, it is required a boxes. Now we have technology. There is a Blu-ray players who are installed in the theaters and live. So no need of filling boxes nowadays. There is a system automatically streaming. It streams on the theater screen on the theater. All this is possible by the internet and other technologies. Internet-based subscription services means after 2015 later, there is a Blu-ray disc and today we have a home cinema system typically with a large projected image from a video projector. We have if we spent on a 5,000 or 6,000 rupees, we can buy the projector. We can install in our room. And for the sound bars, sound theater, sound system, there is again, if you spend more 2 to 3,000, at least with the 10,000 rupees, we can experience high definition quality of theater, cinema visuals, and also the quality sound with the system. So with the 10,000 rupees also, we can enjoy the theater mode in the home. Now we have more films on 3D dimensions. Earlier only 2 dimensions. We have some 15 years ago. There is also 3D movies earlier, but very rarely it was released. But nowadays we have 3D movies. But maximum all movies, if the theater is set up with to present in a 3D system. There is also 3Ds and projectors also. Even though theaters, some multiplex theaters, there is a possibility to present in a 3D way. So the film is itself releasing in the 3D and 2D also. In 3D films, it gives more live experience. The viewer, the customer who feels that, who is very close to for that film, that plot is touching. It's a touching. It's a experience like he's touching the actor. Is is touching the is involves itself is located in the film only. That kind of technology now available with the emerging of these technologies. Yeah, yeah, once we sum up the entire unit, here we have discussed about the important film units for working under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and about the history of films. The India has one of the oldest and the largest film industries in the world. It was in early 1930 that the Indian film received a public screening. The film was Raja Arishchandra. Because this is history, so we need to remember. Its director was Dada Saheb Phalke. He is one of the eminent person who is the actually who is the father of the Indian film industry. Now we are receiving the Lifetime Achievement Awards in the cinema by the name of Dada Saheb Phalke. At the point of the time, it was really hard to arrange somebody to portray the role of females among the middle classes. That association of acting with the loss of virtue, female modesty, and responsibility has only the recent we has been put into the question. While a number of filmmakers working in several Indian languages pioneered the growth of development of Indian cinema, the studio system begins to emerge in the early 1930s. Now we have studios, film studios. In Hyderabad, we have three, four film studios like Annapurna Film Studio, Tarabu Film Studio, and we have a Film City, Ramoji Film City, Ramanayad Film Studio. Most successful early film was Devadas in 1935, whose director was P.C. Barwa, also appeared in the lead role. The technology, we have discussed about the technology and the system, how it is changing in the films. My dear students, if you have any doubts, please raise here. Otherwise, type in the chat room. I will read out and get you back with the clarifications. With the more about the films, the cinema communication, we will discuss in the coming session. We are leaving here. I am signing out the session. Tomorrow we have another session. We will discuss in the next session.